Welcome back, folks, to episode 2 of the series. I was going to squeeze a bit more into episode 1, that's why there was a bit of a rough cut at the end of it, but it ran on about 20 minutes, and I didn't want to do over the top 20 minutes and then stick on a show at the end of it, so we wrapped it up nicely. We covered the setup, we covered the roster, all the signings we made as well. Pretty much that's the roster that we'll go with, I think. So what we'll kind of maybe do is I'll see how long the video goes if we record one show, because right now the way the setup goes is that we'll do one show a month. So we'll see how it goes. We're doing one show, and if the video is too short, I might just squeeze in like 2 shows together. Just for now, when it gets down the line and we start to get to the stage where we're doing TV and stuff like that, I'll maybe just do like a bit longer at that point. We'll see how it goes, but we'll test out and see how it goes with just the one video. So with this one, we might get 1 or 2 shows in it. We'll see how it goes. Right, let's just try and test it and see how it sounds. We've got music in the background. Just put it Right, so let's get into booking our very first show. I'd accidentally skipped a wee bit too far into the actual game, and when it takes you into this booking screen, it does not let you out of the booking screen, so which is fine because we're ready to book the show anyway. Let's see. I've selected a venue. Just selected the Classic Grand. As you can see, we're only expected to get 49 fans at the first show, so really is an insignificant start. So I will do that. We'll do that. That'll do for us now. We'll take that. We're going to book the first show. Sticking with 2 other shows for a start. I did set up a couple of storylines just because the way the company works is that we need to have storylines in order not to get penalised on the shows. So what I did is I just set up 2 generic ones for now, which is Scottish Championship Contender Tournament and the Women's Championship. I'm actually going to change the name of those titles to the King of Scotland and Queen of Scotland titles, just to try kind of try and differentiate them from the rest of the world titles we'll have and the European titles and so on. But anyway, I just stuck in a couple, I think it was like 6 of basically the heavyweights that I put in here. And just kind of, they're going to fight it out with the first couple of shows. I'll probably do some kind of tourney. We'll run one show first, just test everybody out, and then we'll probably run a tourney for to decide who's going to be the first champion. Basically, who doesn't love a tourney? It's a good way to decide it. You can obviously, in my mind, I'll pick somebody like probably Tez Evans tends to be somebody, or looks like somebody who is somebody that we can take with us to the very top, considering he's got really good brawling and decent psychology, really good basic selling and stuff. So he's the type of person that we'll make the first champion, and then we'll just kind of stick with him for a bit. So what I tend to do, just to probably kind of cheese and match ratings a wee bit, I mean, you can never guarantee how much your performance or how good a performance the wrestler's going to put in, but I kind of stick to booking the technical guys together, the brawling guys together, and the high flying guys together. Just you'll get a good match out of them. So we'll check the booking analysis. That tells us basically we need to have matches that are aimed as being a storytelling, at least one, and expected to have advance at least one storyline as well. You can pretty much do that in one match. What I found out is the storytelling match, you can use it as basically, if your storyline has got like Chris Renfrew versus Adam Shame and you have Davey Blaze interfering here, that would mean you could make that a storytelling match because it is telling a story from a storyline. I think that's how it works anyway. I've not tried it yet, but basically means that the workers are going to phone in the match a bit, considering something else is going to happen, which is going to be the focal point of the match. We will test it out and we'll find it. So we'll start with a wee freestyle angle. what we'll do is we'll just start with Grado. We'll get him coming out. I think pretty much, unless you do the segment with 5 minutes or more, they don't get a boost in their popularity, I think. So, just put in Grado, comes to the ring, announces himself as GM, hypes the card. We don't have any really storylines involving him yet, just to kind of go with, so that'll be the opening segment. Pretty much we're going to use that to cheese a good rating, because Grado's 30 for overness, and we're expected to get a 12, so pretty much using him as much as possible will help us cheese the ratings a wee bit. So add a match. Who are we going to put in here? Right, let's see, who have we got. Let's start right off the bat. We'll kick off with, I love a car crash match. I think that works best with just a couple of high flying guys. Just throw them out, tell them to do 10 minutes, say their absolute top work. So we'll go with Robbie Wishart, I think. Right, let's go Robbie Wishart. And who else have we got that's a high flyer? Kenny Williams. Yeah, let's go Kenny Williams. Put those two guys in. Tell them you want it to be a car crash. We'll put Kenny Williams over because he's the more popular guy here. Kenny Williams over. Just get me do a 10-minute match. Nothing exciting. A car crash is pretty much guaranteed to get you good ratings. Right, let's see. What will we go with next? Pretty much the first kind of show or two, we're just going to book for getting used to the roster. So who can we put in next? Let's do a couple of technical guys. Maybe Mikey Whiplash. The crowd will be pumped. Usually with a car crash match, it gets the crowd pretty pumped. Especially if the popularity is about a 10, meaning if you put a match on, it's like a 20 or a 30, the crowd are buzzing because the match is really good. So we'll put Mikey Whiplash, and who can he go against? Davey Ravy, maybe? Yeah, Mikey Whiplash can go over Davey Ravy. Let's put that as Mikey Whiplash wins. Tend to be with the technical guys, I don't always do this, but if you put it as a submission finish, then it means that it's probably a better finish to the match, considering that's what technical guys really do. So, yep, 10 minutes, book that, put that up here. Right, let's put a storytelling match in. So, in terms of the storyline, we can put maybe Davey Blaze and Chris Renfrew in. Let's see. So Chris Renfrew is a babyface, Davey Blaze is a heel, right? So let's do that. Let's do Davey Blaze and Chris Renfrew. You'll notice it's a weird thing I do. It's just the way I book. Is I put the face at the top and the heel at the bottom, regardless to who's going to win. That's just how I like to book it. So we're going to tell these guys to do a pinfall finish, and we want, who do we want? We'll put this as storytelling. So it specifies the aim of the match to set up or advance an issue, or so basically to advance a storyline. So we'll do that. And let's see who else is in the storyline that we can get. So Kez Evans, nah, he's a face, and that's not very face behaviour. What about Santos Jr.? He's a baby face as well. Adam Shame. So Adam Shame is a heel. So what we'll have is Adam Shame comes in and he just wrecks both guys. So we'll just make this as, where is the finish? DQ finish maybe. Double DQ finish. No, I've never booked one of these before actually, so I'm just kind of, let's say, outside interference, right? Let's just keep it nice and simple. Chris Renfrew, Adam Shame. We'll add that note on, and then we'll have Davey Blaze as the winner. Did I put that as the finish actually? Outside interference finish. Yes. Because you can do outside interference, but it's not the finish to the match. But we want that to be the finish of the match. So it's maybe setting up a long-term feud between Adam Shame and Chris Renfrew. And that can go with storytelling. So that match is going to be booked mostly on the actual storyline rather than the match or the performance itself. Right, let's do a tag. Let's do a tag with some of the high flyer guys. So fairly certain. In fact, let's put a couple of the girls in a match. Let's go with Jokey definitely because she's pretty good. She works heel. And what about Anastasia? Decent, but Debbie Dahmer's maybe a bit better. Right, let's just go with that. Put this in as just a regular match. Let's do a cheap finish. Let's do a cheating finish. Let's see. Cheap one, there we go. So Jokey's went with the old cheap one. We'll stick that up here. So we can put another angle in with Grado just because you need to try and keep the angles or the show to be around 80% matches and 20% angles. So let's add an angle in. We'll use Grado again just to cheese the rating. Grado rated on microphone, and Grado is backstage. Who have we not used? Let's go with Stevie James. Stevie James, a technical guy. So Stevie James wants a match with Louis King Sharp. Probably, realistically, actually, he wouldn't be backstage because you wouldn't be recording this. Who's good at promos, actually? Let's use somebody who's good at promos. Let's see if Stevie James, not great of it. He might be alright. He's not very over, though. It's about getting a balance of somebody that's over and good at the old promos. Let's see. Grado, as we know. Kez Evans. Right, let's do an interview. And the interviewer is going to be Grado. And we'll do Kez Evans. And he's hyping up a match with Davey Blaze is already wrestling. So who can we put him over? Dickie Divers. Who else? I'm trying to remember. Krieger. Krieger's a babyface as well. We use heels and faces, but it's loosely enforced, so it doesn't really matter if it's... You know what, he can go over Super Santos Jr., right? Let's do that. Super Santos Jr. And let's put that up here. that can be the main event. Let's go with Kez Evans, Super Santos Jr. Regular match. Kez Evans wins. Let's go with pinfall finish. Perfect. So pop that up at the top. Right, so we're starting to get a few matches to put on. Let's put on a high flying tag. So we've got Leighton Buzzard. He's pretty good, so he works heel. Let's stick him in there. Lewis Girvin can do either or, really. Let's throw Lewis Girvin in as well. Now we've got Kieran Kelly and Miles Kamen, who's also a heel. Do not have another base. You put Stevie James in a match. I'll put him in a match with Lou King Sharp though, because I think they'll put on a decent match. Right, okay. I could always use Lou King Sharp, right enough. Yeah, do you know what? Let's go Lou King Sharp, Kieran Kelly, Leighton Buzzard and Lewis Girvin, and we'll give Buzzard and Girvin the win. Regular tag, Victor, let's give it to Leighton Buzzard, and Kieran Kelly can take the loss on that. You can obviously move about the length of the matches and stuff, and we can get into that a wee bit. That's just basically how much stamina your guys have got and stuff like that. So the guys who've got more stamina, you'd be more likely to put them in a longer match, obviously. Actually, let's stick that up here. Right, Mikey Whiplash is fighting Davey Ravy, so let's have Krieger. He's a technical guy, right enough, Krieger. Let's put Krieger in a match with Stevie James. You can let the game decide, obviously. I tend to pick, obviously, if you're wanting, it could be a fun way of booking like a title fight. If you're not really worried about who wins, you could just be like, let the game decide who's your new champion. But we'll go with, probably we'll give Stevie James that win. We'll just leave that as a normal match. Doesn't have to be anything special. Let's put it here because we don't want it to be. We could book the show right now, but I may as well try and get everyone on the card, or as many as I can possibly get. Miles Kamen will be an excellent aerial wrestler, but Adam Shame's already on the show, I suppose. Craig Anthony and Miles Kamen will have a decent technical match. Nah, do you know what? That'll do. That'll do for the first show. Right, so we've got no warnings on the booking analysis, so we're good with that. Every match is pretty much standard length. We've got 2 angles in there. Will not be penalised, so we can go ahead and start that. Right. First segment, Grado debuted his authority figure, adequate rating. Yep, Billy Cook with it right. Yeah, that's fine. So the very poor when improvising stuff, that kind of fluctuates, I find, like up and down. Especially at this level when they're not great. The road agent stuff, until we get better road agents, which we can't afford. But it still works. It still got the crowd hotter, got it off to a good start. Bonus for high morale, being an amazing babyface, being a good start to the show. Announcing quality was penalised for low experience, but that will come in time. So, decent start. We've got an injury in the first match. Kenny Williams is a strained rotator cuff. Strains normally aren't too bad, but an in-ring performance of 44 is good. Robert Wishart was not very great at 29, but he was off his game. Commentary worked, gave the match a boost, so that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Lockham's not with Robert Wishart after his botch that caused him right. It's one of the things. This was a better match. Mikey Whiplash again, a good performance. Ravy Davey, a decent performance. They had good chemistry, which is good. It means that you can keep an eye on that for a future feud, because putting those two together might be quite good. Again, the road agent stuff, that's just going to be a continual thing until we can get better road agents. Right, this wasn't a great match, just because Davey Blaze and Chris Renfrew don't click very well. But just means that we can set up, because we've done this, we can then set up a match between Adam Shame and Chris Renfrew for the next show, because Chris Renfrew wants to get his revenge. Can I produce a storyline a wee bit that way? Scottish Champ Contender Tourney was started with this segment. Chris Renfrew didn't click. And if we want to look a bit deeper into it, a good bonus for the good announcing, so that's good. The hot crowd gave it a boost. Chris Renfrew was holding back and inconsistent, and he's declining physical ability. That's something you want to keep an eye on, I think, just because if he's going to get worse, at some point we're going to have to look at alternatives. But anyway, that's not too bad. This wasn't a great match. I mean, a 21 is still a good match for us, considering our reputation's a 10, but... right, okay. So I've not changed the product here to say that there's going to be women wrestling on it, so the fans came to see guys and didn't expect to see a women's match, basically. So that's my bad on that one. I can fix that. Decent. You know that Kez Evans is decent on the microphone because he can work the crowd well. As the road agent, Drew Parker, again, road agent stuff, can't really do anything about that. This was a good match. A 30 is really good for this level. If you think your reputation's a 10, a 30 is like 20 points higher than that. A good match. Not particularly great match, but it was a good, decent match between the two guys. This one was not too bad. Who let the side down? Leighton Buzzard. A couple of guys really off their game, which doesn't help. Kieran Kelly and Lou King are good in a team together, though. That's something to notice. And Leighton Buzzard and Lewis Curvin don't work as a team. Another decent match. Kez Evans was good. Super Santos was not great at all. But that gained heat for the overall storyline for the main event guys. So pretty much that finishes the show. We can recap. A lot of gimmick changes because as a promotion we need gimmicks in order not to get penalised. So we've just had to throw gimmicks on some guys. Finish the show. I mean, a 30 overall rating for the first show is pretty good. We were let down by the women's match that pretty much was my fault. The very first match wasn't great, but if I remember correctly, Kenny Williams was really good, so was Mikey Whiplash. So we'll give them to praise in the speech. Mikey Whiplash, praise for a great performance, and Kenny Williams, praise for a great performance, and let's give Kez Evans some encouragement. So that worked. And that's it. First show is in the bag. We'll just recap on... We should have gained popularity in all regions with that one. I'll change a couple of the titles for the next show, just purely because we're going to go with the King and Queen of Scotland titles. I think we're going to change them a wee bit, do up some new belts for them, and kind of take it from there. But let's just see what the report was when the news page comes up. It's always good to check your reports after the match, after your events, to see how the event was perceived. Also tells you how many fans you got there. It might have been a bit more than you originally thought you were going to get. So in the news, so 471 people watched it. And these ones, do you know what? I can just delete these. Not really. I'm keeping an eye on some wrestlers in case they relocate to Scotland, but but I want to keep a hold of the viewing figures, because then when I do the show the following month, we can then look and compare how the views are going. And where is the show? Where are we? There we go. 49 fans. The feedback's been very positive, so it's a good start. Let's quickly look at how the injury was. So 6 days. Kenny Williams will be back for the next show. That's not the end of the world. So, well, first show's in the bag. Let us just skip to the Monday of week 1, and we'll see how much money we're losing each month. Really, if possible, we don't want to be losing too much money, because it'll take a while. Pretty much you would probably need a TV deal before we start having any chance of making money, because you're going to need that sponsorship income. We might find ourselves in a place, pardon me, where we're going to have to book multiple shows and tape them to get the production cost down. Might find that we just book 4 weeks worth of TV in the one go, just to keep the cost down with the production. We can test it out. We can go book 2 and 2, and then we'll see how the money is after that, and if we need to, we can move it to 4 and 4. So let this do its thing, and then we can check the financial situation. So we're into the Monday. Come on, right, here we go. Finances, how much money did we lose? 1,700 quid, right, so it's not the end of the world. It's not great. The show costs, it's just like a general kind of fee for the show. Workers we spent £1,100 on. Aye, so basically that's it, 1,100. We did get $2,500 in for sponsors, so if we can kind of push that up. Ticket sales were £392. What I will try for next time is I will try, where is the price of the tickets again? I'm going to try and lower the price of the tickets to see if I remember where it is. Ticket prices, here we go. Let's go for cheap, and then we can gauge if we make more money on ticket sales but we get more people in, then we'll do that for the next one. But that'll do it for this episode, folks. What I will do is we'll just go ahead and skip another 4 weeks, and then we'll come back and we'll just book the next event, which is April. Oh, it's Postlemania, right? So Postlemania is a big one. So I probably should have made that the show importance is high, but yeah, we'll come back and we'll do that one. So cheers for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you very much.